Have you ever had a plan for something and just kind of, I don't know, blew up? But here's the thing. It's good that I'm such a heavy procrastinator because then I've had to either redo this video or just make another one. But either way, we got some big news that will be broken in this video if you have not looked at Twitter or anything else just yet. So stay tuned because there's some new games coming to Stadia, and one specifically that's a huge get for the platform. But let's start off with this very news heavy week so far, or at least last week since we last talked. If you are new, before we get that far, check out the stuff below, subscribe to all those if you haven't. We have also officially opened our Guilded server, which you can find more information for that down below in the description as well. And if you are new to Stadia, we'll talk about what you can do for getting yourself an extra month of Stadia Pro. But let's start off with the official blog post from Stadia they usually do every Tuesday, called This Week on Stadia. And this is going to be the Pro Games announcement for the month of June. And there's a lot of disappointed people out there at the moment because amongst these games, ARK is not one of them. And ARK has been a game that has been listed as coming to Stadia in the first half of 2021. We have some news on that and when we may be able to expect ARK coming to the platform. But let's take a look at what is coming. So far, of these 4 titles, one is new to the platform, but we'll get to that in a moment. So The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3, which came to the platform just last month in April, is now officially a part of the Stadia Pro lineup. And these games are heavily touted in terms of how well they've done, how many, how people like them. And it's a JRPG, so if you're into that kind of style of game, this is going to be exactly for you. Right now, you can have it for $60 US, so it is a full price game that you're going to be getting for free as a part of your Stadia Pro subscription. And right now, it currently has a Metacritic rating average of 83, so pretty good in the eyes of the consumers. When I was watching the trailer for this game, I haven't played Trails of Cold Steel, nor have I had any kind of experience with it, but the story somewhat reminds me of Fire Emblem Three Houses, which has a military academy type feel to it. I love Fire Emblem. It's not a JRPG by Trails of Cold Steel standard, but it's also another RPG in that land. Now, I'm very interested in trying this game out, but with RPGs, you really got to set some time to really jump into it and just dive in, because these games do require a lot of time, a lot of attention to be paid to. Now, of course, big game. So moving on from that, MotoGP 20, this is a interesting case here because MotoGP 20 has a sequel called MotoGP 21, which for some reason did not show up on Stadia. It is out there on other platforms, but we do have last year's version of 20, which can be had for Stadia Pro members starting on June 1st. Now, if you aren't a part of Stadia Pro and you're interested in trying it out, there is a link in the description as well in the comment section on how you can get an extra free month on top of the free month that Google already gives you. Sign up with that link, just a little referral link, and then I give, of course, a free month as well. So if you're interested in Stadia Pro, you can help us both out, all right? Now, MotoGP, I'm a big fan of sports titles. When it comes to racing games, I am just horrendous at them. I've been wanting to play this one specifically because I do like the motorbike type racing games because they just are a little more interesting to me. So it's cool to have that as a part of our subscription. And I do like sports games, obviously. So having more sports games is good. And speaking of sports games, we'll have more on those at the end of this video. Blue Fire. This is the new game to the platform. This is a 3D platformer. I'm very interested in this one. It's out on other systems already, but it's coming to Stadia as a part of Stadia Pro on June 1st. I'll show a video as I'm talking about this. There's some very specific elements of this game that has a lot of Legend of Zelda vibes to it in terms of the influences it's taken from it. And there's specific things in this game that are clearly taken from Breath of the Wild or other Zelda properties. Maybe as an ode to it, maybe as a way to say, hey, this is our predecessor. We love Zelda games. We are here to continue to scratch that itch that 3D platformers gamers like to have. And then after that, Chronos Before the Ashes. This one is the lowest rated Metacritic game of the 4 in terms of average. It's averaging a 68 across all platforms. This game looked interesting to me. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely familiar with this series as well, but it's another RPG game that you can jump into. All of this starting on June 1st. So what are your thoughts on the Stadia Pro lineup for the month of June? Now, a lot of people were upset because ARK was not amongst those 4. Now, here's what we might know about ARK. On the official Twitter page, and I think ARK knew this, the company behind ARK, because a lot of people were expecting this game in the first half of 2021, and we're at that point where We know it's part of Stadia Pro because that's what it was announced as being. And we got the first half of 2021 lined up. We know what's coming to Stadia Pro at this point. So the ARK official Twitter account noted here that their official summer plans checklist is as follows: being pounced on by Raptor in high resolution, defeating Rockwell, reaching Ascension, and playing ARK on Google Stadia and Stadia Pro. So they're hinting that this is going to be a summer release now instead of the first half of 2021. Excuse me. They never said first half of 2021. They said early 2021. And if you're at the halfway point in the year, you're no longer in early 2021. So ARK did go ahead and put this tweet out there so we can expect it at some point between June and August. I'm not sure if they're going to have one of those mid-month releases, which is possible. By all means, it's always been possible because we have had that happen in the past. But are you disappointed that ARK has not shown up at this point? I'm interested in trying this game out, but this really doesn't disappoint me entirely because I've never played ARK at this point. If I've wanted to really play it, I would have by now. It's been out for quite some time. Moving on from that, one of our last videos we talked about, we'll get to Resident Evil in a moment, but we talked about Destiny 2 crossplay. Now, it was unofficially released about a week or so ago, and some people were able to get crossplay working between like GeForce Now and Stadia, or the Stadia and the Steam version of the game. Now, with this, it's officially out in beta, so this is what it's meant to be. We'll probably do a review on how it's going. It's only for a couple days. It's between yesterday and for tomorrow. You'll be able to jump into some Vanguard strikes, so you can't do like your own fire teams and jump into some raids. You can't do Crucible, from my understanding. So very interested in trying this out. We'll be streaming at some point, probably today and tomorrow. See how it goes. Like we said, it went accidentally live about a week ago, but this is officially a part of Destiny 2. Now, if you do happen to join in the crossplay action, you do get some unique emblems attached to your profile as well. And that's pretty cool. It's known as Stars Cross, which is kind of a nice little way of signifying, hey, we're playing across all platforms here. You can see the PlayStation Blue. You can see the Stadia Orange in there. You can see the green Xbox, and maybe a little hint of the Steam Blue in there as well. So it's kind of cool how it like integrates all the colors of all the platforms that are going to be a part of crossplay for Destiny 2. And once this is officially launched, like I said before, the Stadia version of Destiny 2 is going to be the premier way to play Destiny, bar none. If you have a decent internet connection, trust me, if you're playing Destiny 2, you probably want a decent internet connection to begin with. It's going to be the best place to play it at. Now, here's something we're considering doing because I do like Resident Evil. Dead by Daylight is coming out with a Resident Evil crossover pack. We knew this was coming. We did not know who was going to be included. I think if you were to take guesses at, you probably wouldn't have done a good job at guessing who would be a part of it. As I scroll down here, starting June 15th, you can pick up the Dead by Daylight Resident Evil pack for Google Stadia and other platforms as well. And you'll be able to play as survivors Leon Kennedy and Jill Valentine, the two most popular characters from the Resident Evil franchise. I don't know how I feel if I can't really do anything with them specifically in terms of like trying to shoot and kill these guys. But that being said, you'll be able to be survivors in the form of Leon Kennedy and Jill Valentine. And Nemesis is the official killer from Resident Evil, which isn't too surprising. I didn't think they'd go the Resident Evil 7 or 8 route in terms of bringing some of those characters in. It makes sense going with your most popular characters from that franchise. Now, what I was talking about at the very beginning of this specific news bit we were talking about, we might do a stream of it. I do work that night, but we might do a weekend stream of doing some crowd play and crowd choice right here on YouTube. We do most of our streams over on Twitch at twitch.tv/BrianEvolved. But when we need some Stadia exclusive features, we got to do it right here on the YouTube. So stay tuned for that. We might be doing it on Friday, June 18th. We'll check that out, pick up that DLC pack, and see how it looks. You'll also be able to play at Raccoon City Police Department, and I believe there's going to be some zombies in here, it says. So the Nightmare for Survivors doesn't end with Nemesis, though, as for the first time in Dead by Daylight, there will be AI-controlled enemies in the map in the form of the classic Resident Evil zombies. Zombies can harm the survivors and infect them also. So it's cool. They're adding even, not just a map and new characters, they're adding a new feature to the game itself. And Dead by Daylight's been around for quite some time at this point. Once again, Ghost Recon Breakpoint will have a free trial on Stadia. This is, I believe, the second time we've seen this happen. If you don't have Ubisoft Plus, this is a good way to try out a game that you're possibly interested in. We take a look at the recent sales. A lot of sales going on Stadia. If you look at my specific account, I have plenty of games I have picked up myself. So you won't be able to see the prices here, but I will put in the description the Stadia Source official sales page so you can get an official price for every single game on sale, including different denominations of currency. Of course, the Doom series is on sale, but this is the big one that I've been waiting to be on sale, and I'll probably finally pick it up, is Dragon Quest 11. It's down to $25.99, so it's a big sale on that. Of course, all the EA games are on sale, so FIFA and Madden are on sale. Ghost Recon Wildlands is on sale. I believe when Ghost Recon Breakpoint does have its free trial start, that will also find a sale. You got some Ubisoft titles, as I just mentioned. You got Just Dance in there. Avengers is also on sale still. If you're interested in the IP, the story, I think, is definitely worth the price of admission. If you're looking for a amazing live service game, you're probably going to be disappointed by Marvel's Avengers. Outriders is on sale. I believe that's down to $45, so about a $15 discount. I did pick that up on day one. PGA Tour also on discount, and then the rest of 2K's games as well. And just a lot of games are on sale. Ubisoft is constantly on sale with their stuff, so if you're on the lookout for Ubisoft games, 2K games, even Bethesda games, this is the time to pick it up. There's a lot of sales going on right now for Google Stadia. Now, just before I started recording, I got a notification on my phone about a brand new game coming to Google Stadia, and that game happened to be an Olympic game based on the Tokyo 2020 games, which was supposed to happen last year, but unfortunately due to the pandemic was pushed to this year. And it'll still be weird how that's going to work out because we may have some travel issues for certain countries. Regardless, I got a notification that that game specifically was coming to Stadia. So when I went to just kind of look into a little bit more, just go to Twitter, I got a notification from Stadia, and then I saw the announcement for that. But there's also another announcement. Control is also coming to Stadia. Control is coming to Stadia. Another 505 games game is showing up on Stadia. And Control is pretty much on every platform at this point, even the Nintendo Switch. This is coming to Stadia. Don't be surprised if this shows up as a Stadia Pro title, because this game has been on PlayStation Plus subscription services. It's also been on Game Pass. So it's a possibility we see this in Stadia Pro. I wouldn't bet on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it were either. It's very unique, to say the least. So I highly recommend you checking out maybe a YouTube video of it, maybe a Twitch stream of Control and how it plays. And it's such a crazy, unique world that they put you in with the game of Control. And that was super exciting to see that this morning. I mean, I'm probably going to be double dipping on this one just to have it in Stadia. The Switch version, it isn't bad by any means, but I won't be able to have the best of both worlds when it comes to performance and graphic fidelity. On the Switch, you're really limited on 720p at the very best on handheld mode, and of course 1080p maybe on docked mode, but you're also sacrificing frame rate with that as well. Plus the Wi-Fi card's not that great. Anyway, point is, Control's coming to Stadia. That is fantastic news to hear, but what are you most excited for? If you look on this specific page, we're talking about Life is Strange. The new game is coming out for Stadia, of course, as the predecessors to the Life is Strange True Colors game is coming as well. ARK Survival Evolved. Even Farming Simulator 22 is coming to Stadia. So what are you excited for in the future with Google Stadia? Control, that was super exciting to hear about and see. Can't wait to see how people react to that news. If you haven't already, like I said, subscribe to everything you've already seen underneath me this entire time. The Gilded server is live. It's like Discord, but just a little better, okay? You should jump in there and find out what it's all about. Good friends Link TV and Ashes Do Ashes got that whole setup. Got plenty of people over there right now. So if you haven't already, check that out. In the meantime, thanks again for your support, and we will catch you down the road. Have a good one.
Thanks again for watching. If you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Of course, hit that bell notification so you get up-to-date notifications on when we go live with a brand new video. We also do all our Stadia live streams here on this channel as well. So again, that will get you notified when we go live every single time. And if you haven't already, hit the like button, because that's how more Stadia fans will find this content just like you did. And if you like this video, you might like this video up here, and you might like the video underneath it. So go ahead and check those out. And in the meantime, always, thank you for your support.